Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing American Horror Story Coven, Episode 3, The Replacements. This episode was incredible. It was so big and so much happened in this episode. I absolutely loved it. I think they're doing such a great job, especially that ending. And we really found out a lot about the characters, and I really love that. So, let's get to, let's first get to the main plot, which had to do with, of course, Fiona. Fiona's our, is the main character here, so, of course, had to do with Fiona. So basically, what's going on with Fiona, we see a flashback to 1971, where Fiona's mentor is talking to her, and her mentor is dying, basically. At this time, Fiona was a teenager. Her mentor is talking to her. Her mentor is dying, and she's telling her how soon Fiona is going to have to take over as a new Supreme. And as Fiona's hearing about this, she really does not want to wait. So, before that, her, mentor and everything can talk to her, Fiona slits her mentor's throat, so that way she's the new Supreme now, and she's killed her, so now she's no longer the Supreme. Fiona's the new Supreme. And then the butler, Spaulding, we also found out one more thing about the butler, Spaulding, that the reason that he actually can't speak is not just because he's mute, it's because when he saw this whole incident, he was going to tell somebody about it, but before he could, Fiona went up and cut his tongue out so he can't speak. And I thought that was an awesome opening right there. The way they opened that was really cool. And I knew this was going to be a great episode right after that because that opening was fantastic. I loved it. Because it was so intense the way we saw it, and we found out so much about Fiona. It really shows what she's capable of, and there's much more than that we found she's capable of. The other thing that's important to know about Fiona is that now, in the present, she's the one that's dying. And she's not just dying because of old age, she's dying of cancer. And she's dying of cancer, and it's a very, very bad cancer. It's not like a cancer that she's going to be able to get rid of. No, she's going to die. We know she's going to die, and she has cancer. And she wants to know who, she's basically finding out who's going to be the new Supreme. And she finds out that, Madison is starting to get more powers and will possibly become the new Supreme. So this kind of gets Fiona very, very worried. So she doesn't really know what to do because she's very weak right now. She doesn't know if she can actually, she wants to stay the Supreme, but at the same time she's worried that Madison is going to come after her and try to basically take over her place. I think that's what she's really worried about, and that's the whole thing here with the Supreme. But as it turns out, we get to the biggest scene in the episode. We see her take Madison to this to the same exact place where she killed her mentor, where Fiona killed her mentor, and basically, we don't know. We know something is going to happen here because the scene is very long, drawn out. We don't know what's going to happen exactly, but we know that something's going to happen here, and we don't really know what's going to happen. We know something is going to happen. And what happened was not what I expect to happen. And in case you guys haven't seen the episode, I'm sure a lot of people have been, have been very upset over this and everything. But basically, Fiona actually gives this really good speech. There was some really great lines in this episode. And I'm trying to find the speech. I found a link to it right here. Oh, here it is right now. She basically, Madison has now mastered 2 new powers in the hour, because we basically found out that in order to be the Supreme, you have to have like 6 different powers, and Madison's already mastered 2 of them. Pyrokinesis is one of them, and I can't remember the other ones, but she takes, Madison under her wing, and basically, this is what she says to her. She says, "I'm dying. My time is up. You're killing me. Your powers, you've been feeling them growing. I'm the source. My life force is literally pouring out of my body into yours. There's no mystical jumbo. This is real." And then basically she tells Madison to kill her. She pulls out like this shiv or whatever, and she's like, "Kill me with this." And Madison she can't do it. She doesn't want to kill Fiona because Fiona's her mentor. And Madison, unlike Fiona, has a heart. She actually does care. She wants Madison to live. She wants Fiona to live. And they're basically like fighting over the knife. And before this happens, Fiona slits Madison's throat. And Madison falls down. Fiona looks like she's guilty, and we see Spaulding once again looking on, ready to clean up Fiona's latest mess. And, but as we see Madison falls down, at first she seems upset about it, like, oh my god, I just killed her. But then we see her kind of like this smile on her face, like this evil smile, like, I had this planned out already. And she's like, this coven doesn't need a new Supreme. It needs a new rug. And that's how it ended with her. And I thought that was a very brutal scene. Now, here's what I want to know here. I want to know what you guys think about this. Was this premeditated? Was Fiona planning on killing Madison? Or does she really feel guilty about it? Or did she just plan on killing her later? And did Fiona come there to die? I don't think that's the reason why it happened here. I think this was premeditated already. And Fiona, was gonna kill Madison. And she was planning on having Madison saying, no, I think this was already premeditated. But I don't really know. Let me know what you guys think. Was that premeditated or not? I'm not really sure. But I mean, Twitter was going crazy last night after Madison died. People were like, no, Madison died. No, I was very upset that she died. I don't think it was I think killing her in the third episode, you realize that these characters don't really give a shit. But since the third episode, I do think she could come back later in the season. So I could definitely see her coming back later in the season. We do have this voodoo thing going on, which I will definitely get to in a second. But I really love the main plot. That was really great. And the way that scene was done was awesome. It wasn't like it was just like her cutting her throat and that was it. No, we had a nice long scene. We didn't know who was going to die. We knew someone was going to die. I knew it wasn't going to be Fiona because, I mean, one thing you should know is that American Horror Story loves Jessica Lange. She's basically their personal, Jessica Lange's their baby, basically. If Jessica Lange isn't doing the show, then American Horror Story doesn't happen because she does every single one, and she's always the main character. So, what was the other plot going on? There were quite a few other plots going on, but let's talk about the other thing that's going on here. So, I really liked the other plot, but I thought the other big plot that's going on, of course, has to do with Zoe. Now, with Zoe, in the process of healing Kyle, Mitzi, we find out, has become very, very attached to him, and it seems that, she's kind of, she wasn't happy when Zoe comes to pick him up, basically, and take him home, and it looks like Mitzi is sort of starting to go a little crazy and wants to keep, Kyle there, and I think it's that I don't think it's just that she has feelings for him. I think there's more than that. I think there's more than just mutual attraction. I think it's kind of like the Stevie Nicks thing, and we'll have to see what happens there. But I thought that was really interesting the way that's going on, because I didn't really expect that, but I thought that was really cool the way that all worked out. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I thought that was a very big scene. I really thought that was big. So the other thing that happened in this episode was we saw that Zoe wanted Kyle to actually meet up with his mother again, and Zoe thought this was a good idea and everything, and it turns out that she brings him to his mother, and we basically learned the horrible truth, basically. His mother kisses him, but he was sexually abused by his mother. And that's what we find out in this episode, that he was sexually abused by her, and she's smoking pot and everything, and he was sexually abused by her. So that's what we find out in this episode, that he was sexually abused. And the other thing that happens here is Kyle actually speaks his first word tonight. And basically his mother is kissing him and everything, and he just can't take it. He remembers everything his mother put him through. He kills his mother with this old trophy, and he just screams, no, 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 until she's dead, basically. It was said over and over till she dies. And she made another sexual advance, and Zoe doesn't know how to please him like she does. And we see Zoe horrified walking on a blood-covered Kyle, and his dead mother, basically. So he just killed his mother, and I thought that was a very big scene, the way that all worked. Some people said that scene was definitely hard to sit through. Yes, that was a very hard scene to sit through. It wasn't very pleasant, but it kind of was just cringeworthy to watch that. But I thought that was a really good scene, though, because the way that all worked was very good, and very shocking, too. I thought that was definitely very big. Now, also here, we see another reason American Horror Story doesn't give a shit is because they actually gave Queenie a good plot, and Queenie had this plot, very strange plot, but I actually really enjoyed this plot. We see that basically, well, the other thing we have to talk about is that there's this new neighbor that's moved in, Luke, who Madison really liked. So this is why I think Madison's not going to die, because they had this boy Luke, and he just moved in next door, and most of the girls, especially this girl Nan, who I think is probably going to take Emma Roberts' place, Madison's place in the show, because she kind of was featured a lot in this episode, and she's taking a definite interest in him. But the problem is that his mother, played by Patti LuPone, Joan, is very religious and isn't down with the witches at all. And, you know, and basically Madison says, good luck keeping him away from me. Our bad girl told Joan after she wore the PYT to stay away from me. He's so backed up. All I'd have to say is panties, and he jizzed his jeans. I thought that was very funny. That was one of the funniest signs in the episode, and I really liked that scene. So that was definitely very funny, and I really like Patti LuPone stuff. I'm glad Patti LuPone's on the show because this religious stuff we're getting is actually pretty cool. So Queenie's plot. The first thing we need to know is that Madame LaLaurie has become this. First, she reveals to Queenie that she's actually Delphine LaLaurie, that the racist person that Queenie saw. Queenie is shocked to find this out. She can't believe it, that she's meeting Madame LaLaurie. She's not happy about this. And Delphine LaLaurie is now Queenie's personal slave. So it's very funny to watch that happen, and I thought that was a very funny plot. But also here, we found out that Queenie has never had a love life. She basically, but when she finds out this about Madame LaLaurie, she goes outside and she faces this big bad, but there's a big twist here. Queenie related to LaLaurie's former servant, Bastien, and, you know, Marie, saying, you just wanted love and that makes you a beast. And basically, we find out that this, you know, the servant, basically his head, is turned into a beast. So it looked like she was having sex with this beast. It was not that, guys. It really was not that creepy. It was just that he looked that way. And I thought that scene was very well done. But at the same time, it wasn't really that creepy because it was just a beast. That's what I think. It wasn't really that creepy. But, and the only other thing to talk about, so yeah, that plot was kind of strange, but I also liked it. I thought it was a very good plot, and I thought it was well done. But the only other thing to talk about here is, the last thing to talk about is the one thing that I think is okay in the show. I'm not loving it, but I do think it's cool. We found out something about, basically, there's this whole thing going on with Cordelia. You know, she wants that baby and everything. And Marie says there's a way to give it to her, but she doesn't want to do it. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, that was basically the episode. A big, big episode. Huge twist at the end. What is going to happen with Madison? Is she dead? Is she going to come back as a ghost? What do you guys think is going to happen there? There's so much to talk about. What do you think is going to happen with Kyle's mother? Is she dead? Is she going to come back? Anything can happen in this show. So, I mean, anything. I'd love to hear any of your personal thoughts. Do you think it was too early to kill off Madison? I think they did specifically for a reason that's going to affect them later. And I think Zoe really, or Mitzi, is the one that's going to be the actual new Supreme. What else is Fiona capable of? If she can do that, what else is she capable of? Also, Queenie's plot. What do you think is going to happen with Queenie and that bestiality guy? I thought Queenie was going to be the one to die in that scene when she had sex with the servant. I thought she was going to die, but she didn't. But yeah, let me know anything else you want to know about the episode. That's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Sorry this review was so long, just had a lot to talk about, so I'll see you then. Bye!